Welcome to the Healthpreneur podcast. My name is Uriel Kame, New York Times bestselling author, former professional athlete, and founder of Healthpreneur, the world's leading company helping health and fitness experts start and scale high-end coaching businesses. If you want to attract more clients, learn how to convert them without feeling salesy, and deliver an amazing program for them on the back end, if you want to be inspired by what others just like you have gone through and how you can do the same no matter what life throws your way, then you are in the right place, because every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to be bringing you the best to help you take your knowledge and expertise to the next level with your health or fitness coaching business. And if you enjoy what you see and hear and would like to take your business to the next level, then I invite you to check out our free online training over at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. And for now, let's get into today's episode. How to become more visible to attract more of your perfect clients. That's what we're talking about in today's episode of the podcast. Welcome back. Yuri here with you, and I'm wearing arguably the tightest white shirt. But check this out. I mean, it shows the pipes and stuff. It's all good, but this is, I gotta say, H&M, they've done their shirts really nicely. I'm a big fan of Pima cotton, and I know this is a completely weird off tangent here. Pima cotton t-shirts are the best, and I refuse to wear any other t-shirts but Pima cotton. And then I came across H&M, and they had just some really good V-necks, as you can see, right? So like nice fitting V-necks, and I tried these on, and I'm like, man, these are amazing. And they're $14, okay? Like Pima cotton t-shirts, the ones I have are like $75. I'm like, and all I want is I just want black and white t-shirts. I don't need anything fancy, just a good fitting t-shirt, because I'm a slim, muscular kind of guy. And go to H&M, get a medium. It fits like a glove, but I washed it, or I should say my wife washed it, because I'm pretty useless when it comes to laundry. And so now it's a little bit tighter, to the point where it actually kind of just is almost becoming a baby tee. Like if you could see below my navel, it kind of like creeps up. Anyways, why the hell am I sharing that? I don't even know. If you want good t-shirts, H&M's a pretty good bet. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's talk about how to be more visible to attract more clients. Now, you could do what I just did, and you could buy some really tight t-shirts and take a lot of cool pictures of yourself and post them on Instagram and hope for the best. And that's what a lot of people do. I think I mentioned this in a previous episode. I was watching this show on Netflix called Insta Famous, and this one chick, Sexy Pantera, I think, she got really famous because she had one video that she put up on YouTube where she was shaking her booty, and I think it was like 30 million or 300 million views. And that just, when that happens, you've got a good runway now to take off from. So I see a lot of nonsense in the health and fitness space, because we live in a day where being a social media influencer is an actual job title, which I think is ridiculous, to be honest with you. I'm an influencer. Oh my God, look at my butt. It's so round, and I've got 10 million followers. We are, as I've said before, it requires almost zero talent to be successful in today's day and age. You can be a good-looking person with nothing to add in terms of value to other people, and you could have millions of dollars floating into your bank account. And I find that really saddening, because there are amazing people, and I'm going to say especially in the health and wellness space, who do have true expertise, who have a little bit more class than posting their booty on Instagram, and they actually want to help people, right? And if you're kind of like that, then that's awesome, because I am as well. I have no interest in taking my shirt off and taking pictures of like six-pack abs and all this nonsense. It's too much. And with that said, so what do we do then to become visible to attract more clients? Because you could do I'm going to post organically on social media game. I'm going to hire a photographer to take all these amazing pictures of what life really looks like. And I've done this. I mean, a good friend of mine, Nick, is an amazing photographer in Toronto. So we'll do some photos like once or twice a year. And it's funny. I'll give you I'm gonna be very real with you for a second. If you've seen some of my pictures on Instagram, like you'll see me standing beside my car, etc., there's a certain image I want to portray. There's a certain image of success, if you will, that I want to portray. I also talked to him about kind of playing, like poking fun at that, where I'm kind of dressed in a suit, standing beside like a broken down Honda Civic or something, just like the contrast, and poke fun at the whole, I don't know, the whole Instagram thing. Maybe we'll do that for our next shoot. But anyways, we've got shoots with our kids at home where we're playing like chess and everyone's having a good time. But the thing is, like, that is a small microcosm of the reality of our life. Because, for instance, this morning, as I'm recording this morning, I love my kids to death. They're the best. This morning, Luca and Arlo, our youngest two, they were fighting over who's sitting at the bar stool, even though there's 3 bar stools, 1 for each kid. And they're fighting over the middle one. And the other one is just 1 foot away. And so they're fighting over this. And all of a sudden, Arlo decides, like, he's a really good theatrical, I'm going to hurt myself type of guy. Like, if he were a soccer player, he would be one of those guys who just dives when he gets touched, right? So he falls off the chair and smashes his face on the ground out of his own volition. Like, he wasn't pushed. He did it to himself. And I'm thinking, this is the stuff that needs to be captured and put on Instagram. Like, this is the true nature of what really happens in a home. And yes, there are those moments where the kids are so cute and they're sleeping, or they're really cute for a second, and we take that snapshot, and that's what everyone thinks our life is like. And it's a complete load of, you know what, right? So I don't really think, listen, like, if you're really good at that stuff and you want to play the Instagram game, hey, cool, do it, right? As long as it's generating results for you, your business, and your clients, go for it. But if you're someone who doesn't want to play the Instagram game and doesn't want to rely on organic posting to grow your business, because that's a very, very fast way to go out of business because it takes so long to see results from, then what I'm about to suggest to you is the truth of what you need to do. So Facebook owns Instagram, just in case you didn't know, and Google owns YouTube, just in case you didn't know. Both platforms, well, especially the social platforms. I'm not going to talk about Google, but I'll talk about Facebook and Instagram. Both platforms, I should say Facebook and soon Instagram. Facebook has told us a year ago that we get 2% organic reach, which means that if you've got 1,000 followers and you post something organically, like, hey, here's a new recipe for my blog, 20 people see that. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that really exciting? You spend all this time like trying to get followers and likes, because that's really what matters. And you can pay your mortgage with followers, right? So you try to get all these followers, and then 2% of them actually see anything you post on Facebook. Now, Instagram is better organically, but it's going that way in the next, I'd say, 2 years. And the reason for this is because how does Facebook and Instagram make their money? They're not charging you, right? Well, guess how they make their money? Just take a guess. Just take a guess. It's something called advertising. And if you've been on the news feed on Facebook, you probably see every 3rd post is a sponsored post, which is essentially an ad. So here is where we're at in 2019. You have 2 choices. You can play what I call the old way, the old game, which is I'm going to post on my blog, I'm going to post on YouTube, I'm going to post on social media, I'm going to run some free challenges that no one's going to see, I'm going to put together some lead magnets that are not going to lead anywhere. I'm going to do all this free stuff that takes me all of my time. That's one thing you can never get back is your time. So I don't care what financial situation you're in, you can never get back your time. And so that's scenario 1 is I'm going to do some free organic stuff and I'm going to grow my business. No, you're not. Okay, it's going to take a long time. And when I say a long time, give yourself 3 years minimum. This podcast, I don't even care how many downloads we get. It's honestly just my opportunity to kind of riff and talk about stuff. And I don't even know how many downloads we have. And I promise you it's not a lot. Okay, I've been doing this podcast now for 1.5 years. We are currently at, I don't even know, 239 episodes, I think. Pretty cool. It's my artistic creative outlet. If I were relying on my podcast to build my business, man, I would not be able to sleep at night. I think we've had maybe a handful of clients come through the podcast, and it's actually pretty cool because Daphna, if you're listening, here's an example. So she was sitting in with us at our Luminaries Mastermind in LA in November, and we're having dinner, and we're sitting beside each other, and she was telling me she's listened to almost every single episode of the podcast, and she knew she was going to work with us before she even had a phone call with us. I'm like, that's pretty cool, right? So that's a nice thing to have happen as a result of a podcast. But if I only got 5 clients from this podcast, I would be out of business, right? And you will as well. And blogging is the same thing. Google especially, and we've talked about this before as well. So if I sound redundant, I'm not apologizing, because this really needs to sink in. If you are relying on like blogging, for instance, and you're not a very, very, very popular website like webmd.com, your stuff is not going to get sent. Your stuff is not going to be found. It's going to die into the ethers. You're going to be found on page 103 of Google, and no one's going to find your stuff. And I really hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's the reality, because Google has recently made some algorithm changes. Not recently, 6 months ago. And they basically said, they're basically in bed with WebMD. So if you're not a doctor or a highly authoritative figure already, your website is going to be seen by no one. My friend Josh Axe, who was on the podcast a couple months ago, 30 million visitors a month to his website, right? Was the number one website in the world. Overnight, they lost 11 million visitors overnight because of that Google change, because he's not a medical doctor. He's a chiropractor. God forbid, right? So don't play that game. It's just nonsense. So that option number 1 is you do the free stuff, hope for the best, and send me a letter in 3 to 5 years letting me know how it's going, okay? Option number 2 is you have to pay for your clients. That's it. You have to be willing to pay to acquire clients. That is a skill and an art, and it's something that we base all of our coaching around. Every single one of our clients, whether they are new or more advanced, we help them run Facebook ads to acquire clients. And the reason for that is because that is the only way to predictably and quickly become more visible. I have 5,800 likes on my Healthpreneur page on Facebook. That's not a lot of people. But I'll tell you one thing, is that almost every single time I've been at an event or I've connected with someone new, for instance, on LinkedIn or Instagram or just anywhere else, the number one thing people tell me is, dude, I see your ads all the time. And I'm thinking to myself, awesome. That's how you become more visible. Facebook is your email list. Facebook is your blog. Facebook is your video channel. Facebook is your platform to say whatever you want. And all you have to be okay with is making a deal with Facebook to say, listen, Facebook, I'm going to give you $100 and you're going to show this ad to this many people. And in return, hopefully I'll get a client or two. Or Facebook, I'm going to give you $10,000 a day because I know my pipeline is dialed in. And I know that when I give you 10,000, you give me 50. So let's keep this relationship going because it's amazing. And the reason that most people don't do this is because they don't know what they're doing, or number 2, they're scared. And if you don't know what you're doing, then don't do it, because you will lose money quicker than water going down a drain. The solution to that is you work with experts like us so we can help you do this and understand how to advertise properly on Facebook. Now, if you're scared of advertising, that's simply because you just don't know it. We are afraid of things we don't understand. We are afraid of things we don't understand. So how do we become less afraid of something? We learn about it. If populations around the world just adopted that one philosophy, there'd be a lot less bickering and a lot less war. So for instance, a Facebook ad is whatever you would normally post with a little bit of money behind it. That's all it is. It's as simple as it is. Whatever you think you're about to post on your page, you can post it, and then there's a button called Boost Post. At a very simple level, that's pretty much all you need to do. You just put $5 a day behind that post, and now that post is not being seen by 2%. It might be seen by 10% of people, right? There's obviously more sophisticated ways of running ads on Facebook, but at its really primitive level, it's a message you put up on Facebook and you put money behind it. Now, obviously, there are nuances in terms of what the message should say, what type of images to use, how to target the right audiences, how to set up the campaign for maximum ROI, bidding strategies, all that kind of stuff. And that's what we're really, really good at doing with our clients. That's how 95% of our revenue is generated. Every single day, I give Facebook a lot of money and Facebook gives me back even more. And that is a really great relationship to have. So how do you become more visible to attract clients? Is you run ads on Facebook. And remember, because Facebook owns Instagram, those same ads can be run on Instagram, assuming that if it's a video under a minute or if it's text under 2,200 characters. That's the game, guys. You have to pay to play. And I'm going to say something very, very brash, is that if you are not willing to do that, I don't think you should be in business. Boom, like mic drop. Okay, I'm done. I'm seriously done. Because things were different. When I started in 2006, like Facebook wasn't around. The organic game was all that was. SEO, all that kind of stuff. You could get away with that. Today's world is different, man. Today's world is very, very different, dude. Bro, what's up, man? I don't know where all these words are coming from. Anyways, today's world is very different. You can't play the organic game any longer unless you have a massive following to begin with. And if you don't have a massive following, which I'm going to assume is most people, then don't play that game. Because I don't care how many leads you have coming in. I don't care how many likes or followers you have. If those likes and followers are not represented by the money you have in your bank account, then what you're doing is not working. If you want to buy that house, if you want to take a trip, if you want to put your kids in a better school, if you want to buy that cool dress or that cool suit, whatever your thing is, you can't buy that stuff with how much traffic your website got. You can't buy that stuff with how many followers you have on Instagram. You can't buy that stuff on how many thumbs up you got on a YouTube video. All that matters is that you're getting in front of clients in a way that shows them that you can solve their biggest pain or problem and that they actually pay you money to work with them. That's all that matters. And you don't need months to build up a relationship with someone. In some cases, yes, most people are not going to buy right away, and that's totally fine. And you can continue adding value to their life over time in the form of emails and stuff like that. But you have to understand that if someone has a broken leg, do they want it solved now or later? They want it solved now. And there are a lot of people out there with broken legs. And I'm using broken leg as a metaphor. There are a lot of people who are in pain right now, who want their problem solved right now. And if you have a great solution and you have a conversation with them where they see like, man, this makes a lot of sense, let's do this. That's how you build your business. That's how you become more visible. Okay. A lot of people say, I want to become more visible. Well, why do you want to become more visible? So I can get more clients. Well, why do you want to get more clients? So I can make money and help them. Well, that's what we're talking about here. It's not about becoming visible for the sake of becoming visible. Becoming visible means you are, well, it's important because the best product doesn't win, which is actually kind of sad, but it's actually good. The best known product wins. Does McDonald's make the best hamburgers? Nope, but they're doing pretty well, right? I would say Shake Shack is way better, but not everyone knows who Shake Shack is. The people who do, obviously go there when they can. So in any industry, in any aspect of life, the best product is not the winner. The best known product is the winner. So I have 5,800 people who like me on Facebook, but I can promise you hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people see my ads. And the very fact that people continue to tell me, dude, whenever I play a friggin' YouTube video, your ad always shows up first. I'm like, great. I mean, actually, probably not now because we've stopped the YouTube ads because YouTube made some changes to their algorithm, which has made it kind of challenging for us on the YouTube side. It didn't really make sense anymore from an ROI perspective. But when we were running them, it was like, great. I'm on your feed all the time. And that's what you want to have. That's what you want to do. And you want to feel your prospects, you want your prospects to think that you are everywhere all the time. And it doesn't take $1 million a day to do that. You can do that with like $50 a day because your prospects are only seeing ads that are relevant to them. So they don't know what's going on. Like, they're just like, why do I keep seeing this ad? Why do I keep seeing this post all the time? And when you do it the right way, it's not annoying. It's really valuable. And that's why our ads get so many shares and so many likes. And that's why our clients' ads, do the same thing. And the beautiful thing is that, yes, most people are not going to do business with you right away, but almost all of the clients we work with make a decision within 24 to 48 hours of first contact. Check this out. They have no clue who I am. They've never heard of me. They've never seen me. All of a sudden, an ad pops up in their newsfeed with a really great message. They click on it. Eventually, they have a phone call with us, and they're working with us. How does that happen? How does that happen? It's because they have a problem, we have a solution. And it's just a matter of having a conversation to be like, all right, is this a good fit? Yes or no? And that's all we're doing. We're not saying, well, it was great talking to you. Let's spend the next several months dating and let's build up a bit more trust. And then when you're ready, when you feel more comfortable, then we can do that. That's not what we're doing here. I mean, yes, there are people who do take more time to warm up, and that's fine. Maybe down the road, they'll be in a position to pull the trigger. But 95% of our revenue comes from what I just mentioned. I've never heard of you. I saw an ad, I clicked on it, and now we're having a conversation and I'm working with you. That's how quickly it can happen. But it takes a little bit of time to set up the pipeline properly. We call it a perfect client pipeline. It takes a little bit of time to set that up. But once it's up, it's running for you every single day of the week. And if you want to complement that with, if you enjoy posting on Instagram or if you enjoy doing a podcast, hey, go for it. But the foundation of your business needs to be predictable. You need to have a treadmill of new leads and prospects and clients coming in that doesn't depend on you doing the organic and free stuff. But as you have this freedom from the leads and clients and money coming in, now you have more time, you've got more creative expression and freedom to give out everything else for free. And that's why I do this podcast. I don't care about monetizing it. I don't run ads on this. I don't care about how many downloads we get. I mean, it's nice to see steady growth over time, but it's not like I'm losing sleep over what's going on with the podcast. Okay? So that's how you become more visible to attract more of your perfect clients. You run ads, and specifically on Facebook. And if you want help on how to do this, then we can help you. So 2 ways we can help. Number one is we have our Luminaries Mastermind coming up in Toronto, June 26th and 27th. If you want to sit in, if you qualify to sit in and be in a room with some really great people, the website is healthpreneurgroup.com/2day. That's the number 2DAY. If it resonates with what you're looking to do, fill out the application, and then I'll get back to you if you're a yes or a no. You have to be currently coaching clients. You have to be generating revenue. If you're someone who's brand new, you have no business, it's not going to be a good fit. So that's the first way. If you can't travel to Toronto because for whatever reason there's no airplanes in your area, which is always hilarious when people say that. Oh, if it was closer, I'd come. Like, well, there's things called airplanes. Anyways, second way is if you want to chat with us directly, here's what I want you to do. Go to healthpreneurgroup.com/training and watch our presentation. If it resonates with you, then book a call with us. Really simple, okay? And that way we can kind of cut to the chase and we can, start helping you a lot sooner if you like. And those are the two options. So if you want my help in person for 2 days, Toronto's the best option. If you want to start right away and work with us more virtually, then go to healthpreneurgroup.com/training, start by watching the presentation, and then book a call with us. That's all for today. Hope this finds you well. Hope it makes sense. Stop doing the free organic stuff because it costs you time. That's the one thing you can never get back in your life. Never forget that. Hey, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of the Healthpreneur podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, here's what I'd like you to do right now. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Healthpreneur podcast on iTunes. And while you're there, leave us a rating or review. It helps us get in front of more people and change more lives. And if you're ready to start or scale your health or fitness coaching business and want to start getting in front of more people, working with them at a higher level without trading time for money, then I invite you to check out our free 7-figure health business blueprint training, totally free right now. And you can do so at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. For now, thank you so much for joining us. Continue to be great, do great, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.